Look, I love a good stuffed animal. Sarah, our own Sarah Fraser made fun of me for loving stuffies. I love stuffies, but uh, she pulls out the stuffed unicorn, which was very cute, by the way. Who doesn't love a stuffed animal? You got to be, I mean, I fucking hate children. That's normal. That's not sadistic, but who doesn't love a cute little stuffed animal? And then it's Jared's voice. These women are batshit. Oh my God. Thank you for Meredith and Lisa. Thank you, gods above. She pulls out this stuffed animal and it has Jared's voice. I am sorry. This is classic. And then they're shocked at how many bags there are, but they put the bags away and the fucking cucumber falls out. And this guy is like, what the fuck is this? Then you see him later on telling the other workers on the deckhands and the people in the kitchen and the stews and everyone about the cucumber. And they're like, well, maybe they cut it up and put it on their eyes for beauty. And he's like, yeah, it was like this thick. Maybe not. I don't know. And then where they're doing the confessionals and they're asking they ask Meredith, did you pack a huge cucumber? She's like, what? So, whose cucumber is it? Do we know? Do you guys are so good? You watch every scene so closely. Anyone pick up whose cucumber it is? I wasn't able to tell, but I would like to know whose cucumber it was. Oh God, David, you are lost in the weeds. So then it comes up, and we have this stuff out there about grand theft and about the stolen car and fraud and all this other stuff. I gotta say that Bronwyn, the way that she explained it made a lot of sense to me later on. It made a lot of sense, to me. I like that Bronwyn says, I'm not embarrassed about my past. Like, you guys want to talk about this? I'm like, not embarrassed about it. So I love that. And to be honest, the way that she explained it when she says, well, look, I was evicted from an apartment in college. I had no money. I got pregnant and I took off and I went back home and I was evicted. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I was pregnant and I was 19. Totally makes sense. And then this does make sense what she said to me that, nothing is current. They're like, this is a current case. This is a current case. She's like, there's no current case. There is another case. She's like, something happened at my work. I was involved in something happens at work and you testify and you're part of the case and part of whatever it is. She's like, it was sealed. And there's this thing that was leaked about a case that was sealed that I was involved in. I was not the defendant. Nobody came after me. It's sealed. And the only thing that references this case is a penal code. And people have done research. And if you Google this penal code, it talks about identity theft and auto theft and fraud. Chances are, if it was at work, it was more identity theft than auto theft. But she's like, that doesn't mean that I'm guilty. The case is sealed. I cannot talk about it. It was at work. I was not involved. It had nothing to do with me. But I can't talk about it. It's sealed and there's a penal code. So I get it. You see a penal code, you Google it, it talks about fraud and auto theft. She wasn't even involved, but she says that was years ago. They're saying it was current. She's like, the stuff that came out was current, not everything else. Anyway, she also tells us she was kicked out of BYU. So we learned about that. Angie is sick. She's throwing up the whole time. It's not working. And now it starts to come up. The main part of the episode starts to come up that Lisa Barlow is leaking stories to the press. I mean, this is a theme that we have seen. We just saw it. Everyone bullying Katie Janela off of RHOC, saying that she speaks to the bloggers and everything. So there's that. This reminds me of Goodbye, Kyle. Everyone's saying that Lisa Vanderpump leaked stuff, and Kyle just being like, I know you did this, Lisa. So it reminds me of everyone accusing Vanderpump of this. People have accused, I mean, believe it or not, even back in the day, people have accused Bethany Frankel of doing this with Paid Six. I mean, Bethany doesn't give a fucking shit these days. So, I mean, it is a common theme that we have seen in Housewives. Technically, we're now seeing it on air because we're breaking the fourth wall. We've seen it in almost all of the franchises. I mean, not for nothing. Do you guys know I have a very good friend? I'm in New York. I'm in New York today. So, I love my New York stay at my apartment, but across the river. My friend Marge. You ever hear of my friend Marge, the Sarge? Very smart woman. I wouldn't put a whale on a shirt. She got sued for that. But Marge, isn't this what people accused Marge of for all these years? I mean, Teresa. Teresa worked with the bloggers. She didn't really leak stories to the press. She just worked with the bloggers and gave them, a baby carriage and, a $200 gift certificate at Starbucks. That's a lot different than, Marge. They say Marge with her finstas leaking the story. So it is a theme. We've seen it before. Nothing is so unique here. And they think Lisa has done it. And there you go. And we had the whole thing with Bronwyn, and we're like, how did this get leaked? And Heather's like, listen, you were mad at Whitney last year, and all of a sudden the Alibaba stuff comes out. You had a huge explosion with Bronwyn at Amy's, and now everything is out about Bronwyn. Bronwyn is furthering that and saying that, they're calling me Conwyn on the blogs and on Twitter, and she called me Conwyn at Amy's. Then they reversed the tape, and she didn't exactly call you Conwyn at Amy. She called you Fronwyn. I guess the same thing. So they're like, if the stuff wasn't out on the blogs and she used this I mean, it is a good point. If she used the language at the party, Conwyn, Fronwyn, and then it leaks the next day and they're using that and you used it before it was out, it kind of is you. Although in the blogs it says Conwyn and then it said Fronwyn is what Lisa says. So not exactly the same thing. I don't know. I'm really team nobody here because I love all these people so fucking much. But she's convinced of it. And so then there did that. When you were mad at Meredith, all that stuff came out. You leaked stuff about Mary. And basically, Heather is like, I don't know what's wrong, but I'm actually being a good friend. Like, I am actually doing the right thing here. I'm being a good friend. So I don't know what else really needs to be done here. But I'm being a good friend because I'm actually going to bring this up to Lisa at her face. Okay. But before we even get there to the scene in the bedroom, I gotta say, there's that scene at lunch before it all went south at dinner. The scene at lunch where they're sitting around and Bronwyn starts and she's like, all this stuff came out and someone is leaking stuff to the press and she's not saying who. And everyone's looking around like you're obviously talking about Lisa. And then it turns out that she is talking about Lisa. And that scene is it was a good scene because, I mean, Angie had to excuse herself and all of this because she was sick, but it's a good scene to me in that I love that they're bringing this out to her face. Like, this is how it should be done. But Bronwyn brings it up. Heather's like, yeah, I've been saying this forever. And I really understand where Heather is coming from. I mean, later they're in the room and they